Fellow producers, how's it going? In this video I'll be making a NAV type beat as requested. A few people requested it, so I might as well knock it down. It's not going to be too difficult. He has a pretty simple style, but let's just go ahead and get started with chords first. I'm just going to use the Lounge Lizard plugin to go ahead and come up with the chords under VST and Lounge Lizard EP4. And I am going to be giving away this plugin in July in a live stream, but I already have an entry form for a giveaway, so go ahead and check that out. There's a link in the description, and you can just literally answer what your favorite DAW is or whatever DAW you like to use, and then that's just your ticket to enter and get a chance to win this plugin. And it's a $200 value, so I definitely recommend it. And you guys voted for it on social media, on Twitter and on Snapchat. But like I said, we're going to start with the chords. I like to use Lounge Lizard to come up with the chords because it fits a lot of different styles of music. And later on I can always change the instrument. And it's just a good sound to start with, to hear the tones of what I'm playing and stuff like that. But the chord progression I had in mind is going to go something like this. Well, I got to get in place. I'm in a kind of different setup right now, so it's going to be strange for me. I'm on the move right now. I'm in Seattle. So it's going to be something like that. Typically NAV's beats are at a higher BPM, so like 156 is what I can hear, or somewhere around 150. So I'm going to do 156 because I feel like if you divide 156 you get 78. So this is kind of like a slow kind of R&B type of speed. But if you double it you get 156, and this is just more workable if you're trying to do a trap type of style at this speed. But they're basically the same. It's just that 78 you'd have to double up with everything that you're doing. You'd have to look at the grids extra small and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go with 156. Anyways, I'm gonna record. There we go. And we can just keep repeating that. At this point, what I want to do is come up with some better sound design. So for that, I'm going to get Serum, and we're going to create a NAV style of pad, I guess. Or some sort of, yeah, a pad that's kind of has a wide tone to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a sine wave, and we're going to get basic shapes. So that's just the 4 different, I don't know how many there are, but they're all the basic kind of waveforms. I'm going to turn on the sub, and we're actually going to turn it on. We're going to do FM from sub. So right now this little knob is doing nothing at all because it's all the way down. So if we listen, it's just a sine wave basically. And then when we start turning this up, there's going to be some FM modulation. I think it needs to be on actually. So I want something like this. We're gonna add a saw wave, and with the saw we're gonna detune it to 7. That's a good number, and then 7 here as well. Turn down the level on the saw. Turn down the detuning a little bit right here on this first sine wave. I'm gonna blend it a little bit more with the saw and turn down the volume. And it's really loud right now, so I also gotta turn on the master volume. I'm gonna turn on the sub volume, which is just a sine wave. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to add a filter. So I'm gonna go with a low 6, and I want to put both the A and the B oscillators through this filter, because the B by default is gonna be off. So now they're really nicely cut off and stuff. They sound very dark sounding, so this is a good start. And I want to go to a 6 filter, so it's going to be less aggressive than the 12. The number determines how aggressively the cutoff is going to be, how aggressive it's going to be. So with the 6, I'm going to turn the cutoff down a little bit, and I'm going to go to envelope 2, and I'm going to modulate this filter. So we're going to make sure the attack comes up slightly slowly, so at 12 milliseconds. Or slightly quick, I would say. Sorry. I'm going to turn on the sustain. And I'm going to turn the hold up to like 125. So when it reaches the top of this filter, it's going to hold for 125 milliseconds. And the decay is going to be like 3,000 milliseconds, which is like 3 seconds. So these are kind of arbitrary numbers. You don't necessarily need to have these exact numbers. But I'm just doing these numbers so that I'm just doing these general kind of lengths. So a very long kind of decay, medium kind of speed for the hold, like 125 milliseconds of hold, and then a pretty quick attack. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the cutoff down a little bit further as well. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to go to envelope 3, and I'm going to assign that to the resonance. So we don't want it to be too high. We're going to put it like up to like 28%. And I want the resonance to be high at the start of the sound, and then I slowly want it to fade out as it's going back down. So for that, we're going to need like a nice hold of like 200 milliseconds or so, so longer than the other hold, because we want this resonance to stick around for a little bit longer. Actually, I'm going to do 175. I'm going to do an attack of 0. I don't know why it's so hard to like select these values and type them in. And the decay is going to be pretty quick, like 200 or so. So as you can tell, that resonance is coming up right here at the top. And it's slowly fading back down as the filter goes back down. Alright, that's good. Let's maybe turn it up a little bit higher. So I'm being really picky right now, but none of this stuff is very important. It's kind of just arbitrary. It's kind of artistic choice, I guess. So I'm going to turn on chorus. And I'm going to turn it to like 70%. We're going to keep like the same default settings right here that we have when we turned it on. And then I'm going to turn a reverb on. I'm going to go to plate. I go to a relatively small size, like 20% or something. I'm going to turn up the width so it's nice and wide. Turn down the high cut. Actually, the high cut is fine. I don't know where I want it though. The pre-delay can be all the way down. and the mix is gonna be like at 50%. Actually like 35%. And now we have a nice and smooth kind of pad. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to layer this on top of our current chords and see what it sounds like. So as you can tell, it's really, really slow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this at a faster rhythm. And I'm just gonna scoot over real quick. And this is what I'm gonna play. Alright, so let me think about this. Okay, so this feels kind of slow. I think this chord progression was way too slow. I'm going to divide it by 2. Select everything and hit divide by 2, and now everything's going to be cut in half. Kind of fast, but it's going to work. Again, I'm going to select everything right here, hit divide by 2. And I'm going to close the loop down a little bit since it was so long. And now we're going to do what I was just doing. Kind of messed up there. Let me try one more time. This is harder than it looks. Jeez, this is so fast. Why am I messing up so much? Perfect. So I'm gonna hit Command Z because as you can tell it started re-recording over the beginning. Hit Command Z so it comes back, and then we have our pattern. And next up, what we want is to have a bass. So we're gonna create that iconic kind of Bryson Tiller or Drake type bass. But I'm going to go ahead and think about how I want to approach this, and I'll be right back. So next up, we're gonna have the bass, and I decided I'm gonna get this bass from my Lush kit for Serum, and it's called the OVO bass. I also have another one called the Tiller bass, but I feel like the OVO one is just a lot more dirty to me. Let me turn on the volume as well because it's kind of loud. We can do some cool stuff with this. This is the Tiller one. Wait, let me find it. They both kind of work. They have a different texture to them. Uh-oh, wrong. What the hell did I just do? I think I went too far. Alright, so this is the Tiller one, and then this is the Drake one. Alright, so this is what I had in mind for the bass line. not exactly sure how I want to do this. So that last one was kind of rushed. It was kind of hard to hit it with my fingers stretching so far. So if we bring this up higher, okay, this bass is really loud, by the way, even though I turned it down. So actually it went all the way back up because I switched presets. I wonder what this is gonna sound like if I bring it up. Sounds cool. That's better. So this part is kind of hype. Like there's a lot of movement going on with this bass. Typically he'll have very extended bass lines with this style of a bass. So I'm gonna create a bass line that's way more slow and less jumpy. Let me think about this. And what I had in mind as well is I was going to switch this pad with the Lounge Lizard plugin, and then I was going to put this really fast melody on the Rhodes on the Lounge Lizard. And what I was going to do is I was going to turn the chorus up a little bit more, or the mix on the chorus. So there's actually a low pass filter on the chorus, so this is going to cut out a lot of the frequencies from the top end. It's going to leave more space for the Rhodes. And I'm also going to add an auto filter, which is just like an EQ, or I could just get an EQ. Either way it does the same thing. And I go to this low pass, and I'm going to cut out a lot of the high frequencies on this OVO bass. This is with the filter on it, I mean with the EQ, and this is without it. So a huge difference. So a lot going on. Alright, so again, this bass was from the Lush kit, so definitely check that out if you enjoyed any of these sounds that I just showed you. But next up, so the Lush presets. Next up, what I wanted to do was I wanted to add some more sound design. Like I was gonna add a top end sound. I think we can bring these Rhodes up a little bit. I think eventually I'm gonna replace them with something, but this is going to be the part where we find that sound. So when I hear NAV type beats and when I hear NAV's music, I think of a lot of Omnisphere type sounds. So that's what I'm going to search through. A lot of like sampled stuff and kind of realistic sort of design. Not realistic, but kind of a blend of real sounds and synthesis. Tell me this doesn't sound like a NAV sound right here. I didn't even plan this, but I don't think I'm gonna use this one particularly. So again, Omnisphere is a really nice plugin. I think I'm gonna be giving it away next month after I finish giving away the current plugin, which is the Lounge Lizard one, because it was in high demand. But at this point, we just need to find a sound. I think I'm going to scroll through Omnisphere. And a lot of you guys have been asking how I changed the skin color. The color of this Omnisphere skin. And it's a skin. So you have to download it. I forgot what it's called. Alright, anyways, I'm going to keep browsing and then I will be right back. So I found a sound and it sounds like this. And I'm going to record the melody real quick. Kind of messed that up, but it's okay. I'm gonna move this A over. I'm gonna put this right here, and then right here I'm gonna hit this plus sign so I can record over this little clip that we have right here. And let's get into it. Jeez, I'm completely messing up. Okay, so that kind of works. That's not exactly what I was trying to do. I'm going to duplicate this over and put it right here. I'm going to try this one more time. There we go. Alright, so here's our clip. I'm gonna move this over. And again, I wasn't trying to do that right there. I'm gonna put this right here. You know what, let's just repeat what we have right here. I'm gonna lower the volume on it because it's more of an ambient sound, so that means it's gonna be more of a background element. And we can start to add layers to make this more interesting. So what I just did is I hit Command D to duplicate this track, and I'm going to put an Ableton grand piano on here. I'm gonna turn up the volume on it to 6 within the rack because it's really quiet when you drag it in. So we can do something like this, or what we can do is we can add reverb to it, which is what I like to do. And we can put something, we can put reverb on it and then reverse it. And let me quantize this. So hit Command A, Command U, and this is on the 8th note. So I'm gonna hit 1/8, and I'm gonna go to 100%, which means 100% quantization, and now it's gonna align it 100% correctly. Now let's listen to it layered. Actually, when we layer it, we want it to be, we want the other instrument to also be quantized. I'm gonna hit Command J, Command A, and I'm gonna hit this reverse little button down here that says REV. And now this clip is completely flipped. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit Command T, I'm gonna hit freeze track, and then I'm gonna drag this audio to this this clip to the audio track. And then once I'm in audio, I can reverse it one more time. And then we have this pattern. And a cool kind of trick to get sound design is to do this kind of stuff with audio and then start pitching the audio up and down. So I'm gonna bring this up an octave. And then I'm gonna add reverb again to it, or maybe even delay, I don't know yet. I think ping pong delay. I'm gonna hit the 4 so that it's quarter notes, and then I'm gonna I'm not exactly sure if I want to do that actually. Maybe reverb again. It's gonna make it really messy though. But with the reverb, I'm gonna turn down the size. And turn up the dry wet to like 9 or 85% or so. So it's nice and quiet, nice and soft sounding. And I guess I will add the ping pong delay. Let's see. And what we can do to make this way more clear is we can chop this up at each note. Like this. Do is we're gonna fade it. We're gonna hit this fade button, and we're gonna keep making fades so it's cleaner sounding. And it's gonna give it a pumping effect. And maybe we want to turn up the fade or pull it out a little bit so it's less aggressive. And sometimes what I like to do for this kind of stuff is get an auto pan, which is I think what I'm going to do at this point. And then I go to the ramp shape. I hit 8th notes, or I hit the sync button, and then I go to 8th notes. And then I turn up the amount. I hit the phase to 0%, or I turn it down to 0%. Then I hit invert. So now it's going to be upward sloping effect like what we have right here. And I think it's actually quarter notes that I should be on. And let's duplicate this right here. And then I turned up this filter on the ping pong delay so it's only playing back the high end. And now at this point we're gonna do the drums. So I'm gonna get a drum rack, and for now we're just gonna focus on everything except the hi-hats. So we're gonna go for the kicks and all that, and the snares. So I'm gonna go to the Trap Essentials kit. First let's start with the kick. Actually, first we need to get a drum rack because we need somewhere to drag these to. I'm gonna get the Favre kit. I'm gonna turn the volume up to -6 instead of -12. Now I'm gonna get the snares. So we're gonna probably layer a bunch of snares. I already know I'm gonna get the fat snare, which sounds like this. I'm gonna get the, we could use this one, or we could use, what was the other one? The drill snare. I'm gonna use this one. It sounds cleaner. It has no reverb on it. And then don't want to use that one. I think I'm gonna use this one as an off snare. It's gonna be kind of an offbeat snare. I'll do something like that. So let's turn the pitch down on this fat snare so it's a little bit thicker sounding. That's a little bit too low. Okay, that one's beautiful. I like that snare as well, so we might try this one too. It's a little bit too resonant for my taste though, so I'm not going to use it. I like that as well. I might use that instead of the drill or the crack snare. Turn down the pitch on it because it sounds a little bit high. I don't think that fits with the other snares. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna get rid of this Layla snare because it doesn't really fit the other two snares. And now I'm going to record my pattern. Let's start adding the kick to this, which I already started. Oh, I missed it. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I kind of misplaced my hand when I was trying to hit it. to select the kick and we're going to quantize it. We're going to do Command Shift U. We're going to hit OK. And I'm going to turn the velocity up because some of them I hit a little bit softer than the others. I'm gonna fix that one and put it right there. So every time the bass starts, I want this kick to hit in as well, or to punch. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to look for some hi-hat samples, again from my Trap Essentials kit. All these sounds were from the Trap Essentials kit, so I definitely recommend you check that out if you're interested in these, and I'll be right back. So I came up with this hi-hat pattern off camera, and hi-hats are really simple. It's more of a trial and error thing and getting a nice rhythm that sounds good to you rather than actual like technique. So I took closed hi-hat 7 from the Trap Essentials kit, and I took open hi-hat number 2. With open hi-hat number 2, I shortened it. I took it down a semitone, which is down in pitch basically, just a little bit, and I cut off a lot of the tail because it had some reverb on it, and I made it fade out just a little bit so it would sound cleaner. And this is my pattern right now. And with the snares, I kind of want to quantize them because I forgot to do that. So I'm going to select this and select that, and I'm going to hit Command Shift U. I want to quantize to 16th notes. So at that part, it kind of got messed up. So the thing with quantization is it's just going to bring it to the closest line. So it's not going to really know what you have in mind. So sometimes you have to do manual fixes to it. Next up, I want to add a low hi-hat. So I'm going to get a new MIDI track. And we're going to get a nice clicky one. Okay, I'm just going to use closed hi-hat 1. I'm going to cut it down like, okay, I'm going to take down the sustain, and then I'm going to slowly bring down the decay until we get a nice click. And we may automate that parameter. And the decay is basically the fading out of the sample. So if we go ahead and automate that, we can start having our hi-hat open up gradually or something like that, or close gradually. And you'll see what I mean when I get to that part. So at every point where I feel like it's gonna sound good, I'm gonna add a low kind of hi-hat roll. So let me get rid of this and move it to the next one. Actually, it sounded good right there. I'm just gonna keep doing that. Gonna automate the volume, the velocity. So let me think about this. Right here I'm gonna have a hi-hat roll. That's beautiful. Copy this, put it right here so it's the same thing. And I'm gonna do a copy of it, put it right here. So this first one is gonna be just a single note. It's not gonna be so fast and so trill sounding. And right here I'll have a roll. So let me get to the same point that I was. Alright, so I'm really low on the keyboard, so I gotta bring this up. There we go. And I think that's our pattern. Let's turn on the volume on it a little bit to -9. And we might do some pitch changes, so we can make this pitch downwards a little bit. So next up, I'm gonna add an 808 to this. So this part is gonna be our drop, where we have the different bass line that we made earlier. It was the first one that we come up with. And I want to turn on this pattern with the lounge lizard. Do is we're going to copy everything. We're going to hit Command D, actually Command Shift D, and this is going to duplicate this whole selection and expand our loop. And then I'm going to drag this bass line, and I'm going to drag it up to this new MIDI track. Now I'm going to select an 808, and for this I'm going to use my 808 Essentials racks for Ableton. But there are also wave samples for other DAWs like FL Studio or Logic or wherever else you want to use them. And I'm going to find a kind of gritty but clean sounding 808. So I think... So wait, recently I came up with a update for it, a free update. And if you bought the pack, just check your email. I sent it and there's 18 extra 808s. So I'm just going to look through those. Let me go lower. I feel like this one could kind of work. The Jug 808 or the Filth 808. I'm thinking the Jug 808. And we're gonna come up with a pattern with this. What I'm gonna do as well is I'm gonna turn down this release, because when I hit it, it's gonna take 4 seconds for it to fade out, but with the rack you can turn down the release so that as soon as I let go it's gonna turn off. And actually I'm gonna turn it up to like, I don't know, like 750 ms. 500 actually. Just a little bit of tail. We're gonna come up with something cool. This sounds so beautiful, so perfect, and so hard. Pause. Let me try this one more time with the 808. So I'm gonna try to do a pitch down effect. So with the racks you have glide built in, and as you can tell there's this glide time parameter. I'm gonna turn it up to 125. And when we overlap the notes, it's going to glide from one note to the next. So we can create this really interesting effect. I'm going to duplicate this and do the same effect. Actually, not gonna put it at that location. So again, a lot of music is trial and error, so I apologize if this is kind of long, but I think we're basically done. I think that's it for the bass line. I'm gonna add maybe one more sound, or try to come up with one more sound that we can add, and then I'll be right back. I'm actually gonna take this piano reverse thing that we have with the audio. I'm gonna put it right here where the 808 is. Let's turn up the volume on it as well. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so for the 808, I'm going to do a few changes to it. I'm going to start automating different things like the release time, because at the beginning it's kind of short, and I kind of want it to fade out longer. So we're going to click that release knob, and we're going to turn up this time until it's like a decent amount. It's kind of long. I think honestly 1 second or so is good. I don't know how long I want this one to be. I think that's a good amount, maybe like this. Again, we're going to copy this envelope right here. Copy envelope. And we're going to paste it right here. Maybe a little bit longer this time. Let's extend this so it's a little bit longer. Extend it like this as well. And now we have a perfect 808 pattern. Finally, what I wanted to do was add like a different part where we have like a pad on it that's very extended. Not a different part, but a different track where we have like a very large sounding pad. I think honestly we could just take what we have right here and edit it so that it's way larger sounding, or way cleaner, I would say. I would actually take it up an octave as well. Do something like this and then get rid of those extra notes. And I would add an auto pan like we did before. Turn up the amount all the way, turn up the rate, turn down the phase, put the rate to quarter notes, and let's do an inverse. Let's get this second part. Now with that release and all that, we want to automate it. So at first, in this first part, we don't want that long of a release, and obviously we want our chorus to be all the way up. And maybe we can set it up so that the chorus is slowly building up. So like this. And then we can duplicate this pattern. Duplicate it one more time so that we get it just right. All right, this should sound better. Maybe if it's faster, it'll sound cooler. And less amount to it. Or what we can do is switch to this style right here. And let's do quarter notes. Turn the gain up by 1, and we're gonna turn this filter, this EQ off until this part, and we're gonna turn this auto pan down in the beginning part, so it's not so obvious. And we're only gonna turn this auto pan up when we hit this drop part. Maybe if it's faster again, it'll sound good too. I don't like it though when it's too fast. I'm going to turn off this track when it reaches this part, so it just cuts everything off. And now we have a nice loop going. I think I'm going to do a little bit more work on the drums, maybe layer some more stuff and then I'll come back and show you guys what I've done, and then we're gonna mix this beat and arrange it, and then we'll play the final product. I made a few simple arrangement changes, but other than that I haven't really done anything else. And what I wanted to add at this point was another sound that we can layer on top of this 808 part right here. And as you can tell, everything's a lot quieter than it was in the previous clip, and that's because I brought down the volumes of everything and kind of balanced things really roughly. But right now I want to get Serum, and I'm going to use another preset from my Lush kit, and it's the Nostalgia pad, and that's because I feel like it has a really good tone for this style, and it fits this NAV style of a beat. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the Lounge Lizard melody, this one, and I'm gonna paste it onto this new track. And there's a delay on it, so what I want to do is turn that down a lot and turn the volume down, and also turn the volume down on the Lounge Lizard plugin. I think it sounds good as a layer on top of it though. And I'm gonna group these two, and we're gonna EQ them together as a group. So I'm gonna get an EQ 8. Obviously we don't want some very low frequencies in this. We mainly want the high ones, and I'm also gonna cut out some of the mids right here. And then we can go ahead and play this. So this is what we have so far. I also lowered the volume or the pitch of this hat right here. So I think it adds, this whole pad thing adds a lot to this song. We're gonna put it more in the background, so we're gonna lower the volume of it. And the fact that it's there adds a lot of rhythm and speed to the song. It makes everything sound like it's a lot faster. Next, we're gonna do something a little bit creative or different. We're gonna copy this first part. I'm gonna do kind of a slow style where the beat kind of breaks down and the sounds are reversed. So we're gonna copy this hi-hat pattern. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add a snare, like a really low snare. So I'm gonna get the Chicago snare because it sounds really good when it's pitched down. I'm gonna put it right here. Now we're gonna lower the pitch on it. -7 is fine. Gonna do something like this, a little bit random. And then I'm gonna add like a low hi-hat, an open one. Like this one. I'm gonna pitch it down, Everything's really loud as well, so I'll have to take down the volume. So all of these, I'm gonna take them down, especially the hi-hat. It's extremely loud. And then next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this drum pattern, we're gonna duplicate it over, and we're gonna create an audio rack, and we're gonna change the input to resampling. And resampling means whatever is playing is gonna be recorded to that audio rack. I mean to that track if we hit the record button and hit record. So I'm gonna solo these two drum patterns, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen to it with the kick, and hit record. But we may take out the kick if it's kind of intrusive. But what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to reverse this sample. So I hit this clip and I hit reverse. I'm going to mute these two tracks because we don't need them right now. It sounds cool, but it's like missing a snare. I mean, it could work. It sounds cool with the kick as well. But sometimes what I like to do is unwarp it and then shift it, hold shift and press it down, and then it's down an octave, and it's also going to be stretched to twice the length. So I like to do that. I'm gonna bring it back up just to hear what it sounds like again. That's too fast, so I'm gonna take it down. I'm gonna drag this over, and we're gonna duplicate this part right here, and we're going to have this piano melody playing, except we're gonna have to play it really low. And I'm going to enable the hi-hat pattern, and we're gonna boost the volume on this piano reverse loop kind of thing that we have here. And again, I lowered it 2 octaves from where it was before. Before it was really high pitched, and now it's really low. And I wanted to add this bass line that we had wherever it was, this first one that we came up with, the very simple one. Alright, so I might add like a few ambient sounds like with Omnisphere, and do some more stuff off camera with like some extra little drums, like things like these perks that we have right here. But it's gonna be a lot of simple stuff, and then I'm gonna mix the song and then play the final product. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play this song right here. It's fully mixed, and I just wanted to go over one more thing. I'm going to go on the master track to demonstrate this, but basically if I get this EQ right here, actually let me just get any EQ, and I go ahead and play this song. It's super quiet right now, but just by looking at the spectrum, we can tell there's a lot of low end, there's some highs, and then there's a lot of open range right here in this upper mid range, which is kind of like the vocal range of the artist. So when you're making a beat, always try to leave that space open. If I could sing like Nav or rap like him, I would, but I've found that I can't really like copy his like vocal style. Like my voice does not sound anything like his, so it would just really distract from what this whole beat is. But if I could actually do vocals like him, it would sound like a Nav type beat, because it's kind of like the main part of the mix in most cases, the voices. So without it, kind of will sound a little bit unlike Nav, but the beat is still fire, and I hope you guys learned from it. Real quick, I guess I'll show you guys how you can get a Nav type of vocal chain. So let me get an audio track. So really, I like to use Waves Tune real time plugin. I would put the transition on 24% and the speed at 12%. And obviously we want to choose the scale that we're in, so we're in F minor in this song. So obviously you want to start with the auto tune first. I like to put compression before the auto tune as well, and I don't know why my library is completely empty right now. It's kind of strange. So basically I would put a compressor before the auto tune. Then I would put, okay, so now we're gonna create two sends. We're gonna create one for reverb and one for delay. This is so that we're not putting the reverb signal into the delay or the delay signal into the reverb, and so that we have each of them separately. So obviously on the reverb signal, oh damn, all the plugins are gone. I have to fix this real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, so as I was saying, we're gonna get a reverb on this reverb track. We're gonna cut out the the highs. We're gonna take off all these extra settings, mid, and then I would say like it's a medium kind of size to it, and like let's say 40% wetness. And then for the delay return, we're gonna put a simple delay on there, and we're gonna do eighth notes or whatever this is, 8 beats. The dry wetness is gonna be at 29, and there's a fan in the background, so I apologize for that. I'm gonna turn up the feedback, which is how long it's gonna fade for, like how long the echoes are gonna repeat. And then we're gonna take this track and we're gonna send it to both the delay or the reverb and the reverb. The delay, actually you can like apply it to only certain words or do whatever you want with that, but for the purpose of just demonstration, I'm just gonna have it on at all times. And then we're gonna press this and it's gonna start to record my voice right now. Alright, so now my voice is hella auto-tuned. It's hella auto-tuned, and I sound like, so basically if I were to rap on this beat, I would sound like a rapper. I mean, obviously because I'm rapping, but also I would sound professional because of this auto-tune. But this is the NAV vocal chain, and this is kind of tripping me out because I keep hearing my voice echo. But it's so cool. Yeah, it's so cool. Check it out, man. Let's record something. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna put you guys through that. Anyways, I hope that was cool, and you guys can apply that to your own work. If you guys are rappers and stuff like that, or if you guys want to have vocals on this or on a track and want to make it sound a little bit like a NAV type of vocal. Anyways, again, enter for that Lounge Lizard plugin. It's a $200 value and it takes almost no effort to enter, so definitely check that plugin out. That was for 10K subscribers. I'm super thankful for that, and that's why I'm giving it away, or giving away a license. I'm buying one for you guys. Next month we're gonna do more plugin giveaways and all that. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitter at SariBeats and on Instagram at SariBeats, and Snapchat as well. All right, see you.